You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Elliott scores! Oh, Steven stepped up, nailed it. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Paul, when it comes to facing a team like the Blues that bring a really strong forecheck and have really shored up their defensive end, how can this group make sure that they're all getting inside positioning and able to generate against the Blues defense like that?
We've seen in the O-zone finding the middle. I think if we do find the middle, that means we're getting inside. So that's something we've been kind of nailing down, is trying to get inside, get in front of the net, create chaos. So I think if we do that, then it'll open up the middle, which ultimately when their center and wing both go, sometimes they duplicate and the middle's open. So if we use that properly tonight, I think we should get some opportunity and cash in on those.
When you look at just how this team is building off of a really strong homestand, and then you come into a road trip, and this is an area that the Devils feel they play very comfortably on the road, how can you use that confidence and the lessons that you guys learned on the homestand tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously really nice to be home for however long that was. Felt for forever, so it's awesome. Get your home games, home cooked meals, all that type of stuff. But on the road, it's same message. Try not to change anything. Obviously there's going to be teams that have their home crowd now, and so we got to use that to our advantage and somehow.
Collectively, what can you say about the physicality, especially your game, because you picked up 4 hits in the previous game against the Blackhawks?
Yeah, I think it's important. It's one of my biggest assets, I believe, and I think our whole team needs to do it. We all have the ability to, and especially against a team like St. Louis, they're hard and physical and pretty good forecheck. I think they're first in the league from what I've heard. So we got to give it back to them. The forecheck needs to be just as good as theirs, if not better. And, if we're finishing our hits on their D, they're not going to like it.
Obviously coming off a couple of the best defensive games of the season for this team, where have you seen the connectivity grow as a group so that, you're all kind of connected in the structure right now?
I think it kind of comes off the ice, too, with that type of thing. We're such a close-knit group, and, you hear everybody say that. But I think just the mood against even last game, Blackhawks, when we scored that goal, if there's a video of the bench, all of us are jumping up going nuts. So just the camaraderie that we have in the group, that ultimately translates to the game and system. You trust that guy, and so that helps. That's the biggest thing.
Bring that great play here on the road.
I think just kind of building on what we've done the last couple of games. It doesn't matter the building we play in, at home or on the road. We want to be one of those consistent teams that can bring that style of play every single night against whatever team we're playing, whatever building we're playing in. So I think that's going to be our focus tonight.
And just looking at the last time you guys played, they really shored up their defensive structure, and they're really physical, they're battling, they're forechecking hard. When you have those obstacles, what can this team do to counteract that?
Well, that's what St. Louis is. They got a new coach. They kind of got somewhat of a new identity. Really skilled team, physical team, structured team, and we saw that firsthand. They got a couple goals and didn't give up a whole lot the rest of that game in Newark. So we just got to match that intensity. It's going to be a lot of competitive battles. It's going to be hard to get pucks through. They do a good job blocking shots. Again, on the other side, they do a great job of getting to our net. So it's going to be one of those tough games, and I think something that's been a goal of ours is to be able to, whatever style of play we're playing against, do our best to match that, if not exceed that, in whatever facet it takes to win the game. So a different test from some of the teams we've played at home over the last little bit, but we're trying to build something that's sustainable that we can just continue on.
What's been the best part is kind of seeing the buy-in defensively from this group, particularly lately, just sticking with it in games where maybe it's been frustrating for a couple periods, but you don't start cheating the game and eventually get rewarded there.
Yeah, I think the buy-in's been fantastic when you get the results that we've been getting. It's not like our top-end guys are not getting points because of it, or our power play is not clicking. We're still getting the offense, we're still getting the goals, we're still creating stuff, and I think that's just the best case scenario for everyone to understand that just because you're putting a little extra focus on the defensive side of the puck or the structure side of it, you're still going to have that freedom to create and do what our top end guys do best.
Well, you guys on the bench, when you see like your skill players like a Bratter making a hit that then led to that goal at the end of a long shift, or Jack killing penalties now, things like that.
Oh, it's fantastic when your top players are leading by example, when they're a big part of what your team wants to be. As you said, Bratter on that goal goes in, wins the battle, gets the puck out, scores a goal. Just even before that, the change that guys make, like that's a selfless play to not maybe get the goal or get the assist or the plus or whatever, but we all recognize that, and it's on video the next day to make sure that guys understand like this is what it takes to win and to have something positive happen. So like you said, Jack growing into a PK that we're hopefully continuing to build and get better at. So it's just all in all, it's been a lot of awesome positive signs. We're looking at it's not the start to the year anymore. Here we are, almost midway, 30 games through. So just continuing to build on things, continuing to add to our games.
I hope you guys are enjoying today's bonus episode of Soundbites. Before we continue, let me tell you guys about FanDuel. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel has so many ways for you to pick up a W. I love betting on which players will score a touchdown and how many points each team will score. It's thrilling, exhilarating. I think you guys will enjoy it. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com. At a chance at $250 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Please remember to always gamble responsibly. All right, let's get back to today's bonus episode of Soundbites. Take it away once again.
Continuing to get that first goal and build and defend that lead. What did you see about the team's play in front of you tonight?
Yeah, I felt like it looked, the same way as we've been playing, in the last home stretch here, and which is good hockey, good defensive hockey, good penalty kill, and good power play coming up clutch for us again, and then we don't get many chances, and for us to put up three and then one empty netter is it's big for us. We capitalize on our chances.
To see some other guys like Dillon get on the board here, how is that showing that team effort of being able to get some of those goals?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think we're doing the right thing. We're getting the puck deep and then getting a low to high, and then we getting bodies in that, and getting pucks through. And when you do that, you get rewarded.
Jacob, after tonight, you are now tied for second most wins in the NHL. I know you and Fitzy talked about always wanting to improve, but for right now, how satisfied are you with your performance and your impact on this team?
Me and Fitzy?
You talking about improvement.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we got to keep going. We got something good going, but we're not halfway through the season yet, so it's still early, and I feel like I can improve, and I feel like we got something good, but you got to keep working, and it starts in practice. We're doing the right things, and when you do that, the game comes a little easier when you work hard in practice.
A couple weeks ago, Sheldon Keefe said he wanted to see more detailed effort from this team. How do you think this team has improved those details, especially defensively in this last stretch?
Well, I think today was, first game in a while where they got over 20 shots, and, you look at scored chances, it's not that many, and, our block shots, I'm just guessing is way up from what it was before, and, that speaks for itself.
Have opportunities, even though they haven't scored in the past few games. What was working well, especially with yours and Heischer's net front presence, to get that goal tonight?
Thought just maybe past couple of games we've had some really good looks, but we just haven't been able to find the back of the net. And tonight, we was able to squeak one in there, but sometimes that's the way it goes. You get little trash ones, and sometimes they look pretty. Tonight was a garbage one.
Just looking at this team, you guys wanted to score first. You wanted to keep scoring. You wanted to defend your lead. What went well for this Devils team to execute that tonight?
Yeah, I think we've been playing some pretty good team defense, and overall managing transition games from the opposite teams, and and whenever we give up chances, we have Marky back there right now, and he's feeling himself, so we're just gonna keep going.
Noesen, 400 career games. I'm sure it was sweet to score that power play goal, but how sweeter is it knowing everything you've been through with injuries, the AHL, having to prove yourself on the Hurricanes, to now landing here in New Jersey once again?
Yeah, it's obviously it's pretty surreal, and I gotta thank my family a lot. We went through ups and downs throughout this whole entire process, and they've stayed behind me this whole entire way, and hopefully got another 400 left in me, but we'll see. Yeah.
What can you say about the physicality in this game, because that seemed to be a point of emphasis?
Yeah, they got some life there, on the one goal, and then they started throwing the body around a little bit, but a little BS if you ask me at the end, but that's just my opinion.
Just moving forward, what's the biggest takeaway that you guys can build off of this confidence, build off of these great performances going into this next game?
Same way, just sticking with it. Bearing down on chances when we get them, and just suppressing the team's offense. They got some pretty good puck moving D coming up here, and Wierenski. So just gotta be aware when they're on the ice, and just try to limit their chances to as little as possible.
And quickly on Palat, he has 3 goals in his last 4 games. He's one of those guys that has worked so hard, and even not on the score sheet to begin, he was doing a lot of critical roles. What have you seen out of his play that makes it so rewarding to see that? He's one of the heart and soul guys of this team. He works hard. He's on that line for a primary purpose, and he's done an excellent job with that. He may not show up on everyone's favorite stat sheet watchers out there, but he does all the little things right, and doesn't really care what anybody else thinks. So I'm right there with him.
Before we close out today's bonus episode, let me tell you guys about Game Time. I love going to live events, whether it's sports, music, theater, or comedy. Now, Game Time has made it even easier to get tickets for your favorite events with their new features, Game Time Picks. This feature filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I've actually used Game Time before to purchase myself some MLB and NBA tickets. I highly recommend it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time, everybody. All right, let's wrap up today's bonus episode. Take it away once again.
Having Tomas Tatar on the left wing, are both of them playing tonight?
They are, yes.
When you look at the threat that the Blues brought, and you've talked about it yesterday about them shoring up their defensive structure, what have you seen out of your team when they have been successful offensively that can counter really strong Blues defensive zone play?
Well, we just got to stay with it. I mean, you got to do it for 60 minutes and threaten as often as you can, get to the neutral zone as cleanly as you can, defend quickly, to get the puck back, all those sorts of things. So, it's the same challenge you face each night, and this team's going to make it a little bit harder.
What can you talk about the physicality collectively, because it seems like defensively you guys have really taken steps forward as the season progresses?
It's been a focus of ours for sure. I think we've done it more consistently of late. We need to close quickly and end plays quickly, and all that stuff requires a physical element. So we've got some players that can bring that element, but it's been pretty consistent throughout our lineup.
Sheldon, we've talked a lot about Heischer's line and what they've done against the opposing top guys, and they get help from the defense period put out there. I guess my point is, with the focus on Nico, what about the wingers? What are they doing? What's a guy like Timo Meier doing to be able to maintain that position and be as strong as that line's been?
Yeah, well, Timo specifically, to me, has done really great work on the forecheck. Really moving his feet, getting on top of defensemen quickly, and when he does that, it allows the line to be in the offensive zone. It's the best way and easiest way to defend against top players, is to make them have to be in their own end. So Timo does a really good job of that. He's also tracked really well, comes back, just as hard towards our end as he does, on that forecheck. So all that stuff has been good. When he has the puck, he holds on to it. So those are all really important elements, when you're playing against good players.
Brent Pesce obviously been playing really well over the last month plus, but he's getting rewarded points-wise now. Are you seeing him any more comfortable in finding his spots in the offense, or do you think it's just a matter of pucks going in for him or going in off passes for him?
I mean, I think there's a little bit of just, good fortune coming his way after doing so many good things early in the year, and it just maybe didn't get rewarded. But I also just think our team's taken some steps. I think we're on the same page more offensively, in the offensive zone especially. We've had a real uptick in our time spent in there, and I think we're more in sync. A little more practice time that we've had here through November, and that I think has really helped us. So I think all those sorts of things. I think our defense in general is contributing more, but Pesh specifically, I think, has certainly made some good plays, and he and Luke are spending a lot of time on the offensive side of the puck too in the O-zone.
The game kind of finished there. You saw the Blues trying to add some physicality, maybe take some cheap shots. What does it just say to you, just the brotherhood that this team has? It's so infectious.
Yeah, I loved how our guys stuck together there. It was, it's a good point by you. You can see the guys, sticking their nose in, being comfortable in that situation, and staying together. Obviously, St. Louis is, kind of out of the game at that point and trying to get something going. And I thought our guys didn't give them an inch. I liked it.
Well, Sheldon, just going back to the overall game, it's just for a complete 60-minute road game. I think you would have to be pretty happy the way you started and carried on throughout this full 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of a slow start for both teams. Both teams are pretty structured and did a really good job through the neutral zone, and both teams were breaking out quickly and efficiently. So it took a little bit to really get going, but you win the first period, power play comes through to help us win the second period. And then loved how we started the third, came out on the attack, and had some of our best offensive zone sequences in the third period, up 2 goals. So that was really encouraging. And then managed the game too, and they got one to go in, and now the temperature rises a little bit, and the guys handled that well too.
You alluded to some of this already a little bit, but a well-rounded effort overall, 5-on-5 penalty kill executed tonight, and so did the power play. And I had asked you a couple of days ago how you felt this power play needed to evolve to get back to where it was, and you said that it's hard to keep up with the efficiency that the power play was connecting on. How big was this goal tonight just for morale and mentality?
Yeah, it's like everything else. I mean, when you stay with it there, you want one to fall. It's not it's not a sport that gives you much credit for chances. You need goals. So it was great how they scored, and also just didn't take them long. Right, we get our first power play, and they make good on it and give us our 2-goal lead. So yeah, it was a great job there. I liked our penalty kill that we had here tonight as well. 6-on-5 was good. I know even I know they scored on the one there, but I liked when we got 6-on-5 after that. We did a good job. Obviously sealed the game. So pretty efficient game all the way through. Some things we'd want to do a bit better, but also St. Louis has a say in the game too, and they did a lot of good things tonight as well.
We'll open it up to the media.
Andre Palat continues to get that first goal for the Devils in these last 2 times that you guys have scored first. What is working with his ability to score there, and also how did Luke really help set that up from the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, Pally scored goals in the league, so he certainly has that ability. It's a great shot by him. Gets us started in the game, gets us control of the game here on the road. So that's great. I mean, we practice lots of things where we utilize the end wall and try to get in behind them. I'm not certain that's exactly what Luke was going for in that particular play. You'd have to ask him, but because we had enough speed coming to the neutral zone, we have another layer that Pally just goes with it, and that is part of our plan. As pucks getting behind the opponent's defense, so credit to him for generating the speed, skating right through it. He's first onto it, and terrific shot.
Sort of a follow-up question to that. What can you say about Andre Palat and how he complements Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt? Because last month, Bratter had nothing but good things to say about Andre and how he brings out the best in them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've answered this question quite a bit, and it's probably credit to Pally, because he just keeps doing little things that sometimes don't get noticed, and then he has a night where he scores, and you sort of want to talk about him a little bit more. But he, to me, has been very consistent in his game, his work habits, his details defensively, and he does lots of things that allow those guys to do their job in terms of creating offense and being who they are creatively.
One more for you. Jacob Markstrom really having to step up and be that number one guy with Jake Allen suffering a little bit of an injury as of late. 6-0-1 in his last 7 starts. How have you really seen him rise to that occasion and really prove himself that he is that number one goaltender?
Yeah, really solid. He was just really solid. Today he looked really sharp right from the start of the game. And we didn't give up a lot. Then all of a sudden, they're in alone on that breakaway that he has to make a save for us on. And he just looked really solid, like he was seeing the puck really well. I think he probably wants to have the one that he got that went in today. He probably wants that one back, but he obviously gives up nothing else, and that's what you're looking for with any goaltender is to be solid and bounce back. So he's been really, really good. He's in a nice groove, and it's great to see.